All right, 2010 Toyota Corolla LE. Had a little issue happen, and I have not seen a instructional video on how to replace this, so I figured I would make one. Very common problem with this car, the 2009, 2010, and even some others, is this water outlet, often referred to as a water pipe. Just a plastic piece connects your upper radiator hose, and you have a section that comes off of the radiator, connects to the part in question right here, the part that we're going to replace, and then you have your remainder of your hose that goes and connects to the block. So it's this piece right here. You can see the issue that I had, very common issue. The nipple broke off and lost some coolant, but we're going to fix this part today. Just going to replace it, simple and plain. The remainder of the nipple, of course, broke off inside of the hose, and what you can do, what I did, I took a screwdriver, stuck down inside, and just basically just started trying to pull it out, and it broke into a million pieces and came right out of the hose. So I made sure all of that is out of there. I backed off the hose clamp, just brought it back so that when I go to install it, I can just slide it forward over the new nipple. So basically, pretty straightforward on this. I wanted to make the video mainly for the fact that there is a bracket that connects, it goes down, and you have two bolts that sit underneath the battery tray. So the first thing that we're going to have to do today, we're going to have to take this battery out. Pretty simple to do. I'll let you know the bolt size. I believe these are 10 millimeter for the bracket, as well as the positive and negative. If you take the battery out, take the battery tray out, and that's going to reveal those two bolts that we're going to have to remove for the outlet bracket. Should be pretty simple. So you're going to take this top clamp, you're going to take it back, and then this one, take it back. And it should be pretty straightforward and simple, but I wanted to just show you that if you do need to replace this part, know and understand you're going to have to take the battery out to get to those two bolts. Now what we're going with, we're not going with original equipment. The original equipment failed. I'm going to go with a Dorman. This is your part number that you're going to need, 902-924. Let's take a look at it. Alright, so this is the part, and you can see that bracket that I was talking about, and it sits, your battery tray sits over the top of those two holes. It's going to sit just like this, just like the old one. And hose on that side, this side, small hose and clamp on that nipple. That is the piece that broke. This Dorman does seem pretty stout. I think it'll hold up for a while. Cost me about $26.99 at O'Reilly's. Not too bad. If you wanted to, one thing that you could do, another repair option on this, you could take a 3/8 inch drill bit, drill down into the remainder where that nipple was, and get you a fuel fitting, 3/8, and you know, drive it down into it, and put your hose on the top side of that fuel fitting. You can get a brass one, and that'll fix you up too. That's just an option, but for the price of the new part, we're just going to go ahead and replace it and be done with it. So Dorman, again, part number 902-924. So let's go ahead and get this battery out. All right, and by the way, for here, the bracket And the cables, these are 10mm bolts for all of these. So we're going to go ahead and remove the battery. Alright, now that we have the battery out, we can see the battery tray. Reach down, you can see I've got a little bit of antifreeze sitting in the bottom of it from where it started leaking on me. Set that aside, and you can see, hopefully if the lighting's good enough, those 2 bolts, and that just goes to the bottom of the underneath the battery tray and kind of comes up, and you can see the part right there. Pretty simple and plain, pretty straightforward. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to see what size these 2 bolts are. I believe those are going to be 10mm as well. And yes, those are 10mm. So let's go ahead and first, before we take those out, just so we have a little bit of stability and it's not flopping around on us, let's go ahead and back these clamps off. I'm going to take that clamp, push it down, take this other clamp, push it that way, and we'll be able to finish it off by taking these 2 bolts out down here at the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. Those 2 bolts right there underneath the battery tray. Alright, so yeah, you're going to definitely lose some coolant, of course. So make sure that you have some new coolant on standby, ready to go. Now, these hoses here, you can see I pushed that clamp back, that one this way. What you can do, the hoses are going to still be on there a little snugly, so once you have your clamps out of the way, you can take your pair of channel locks, put over the end of the hose, and just kind of give it a little twist, and it'll break it loose. So that's just a tip. So the new one goes in the reverse way, and that's pretty much how you replace this piece. Now keep in mind, you will have to add coolant back to it, and that should get you fixed up. But mainly I wanted to make this just to, you know, let anybody out there know that if you replace this part, you're gonna have to remove the battery for that bracket. So that's the main thing. So take it easy. I hope this helps somebody out there, and you guys take it easy.